Hello everybody, I am Wick. I'm going to talk to you today about an important topic, and everyone talked today about the submarine Titan and the search for the Titanic. On June 18, 2023, communication with Titan, a submersible operated by Ocean Gate, was lost in the international waters of the North Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada. The submarine was on a tourist expedition to view the wreck of the RMS Titanic with 5 people on board. Communication with the submarine was cut off an hour and 45 minutes after it dived into the wreck site, and the authorities were notified when it did not reappear on time later that day. Several search and rescue operations were conducted by an international team led by the United States Coast Guard, the United States Navy, and the Canadian Coast Guard. Aircraft from the Royal Canadian Air Force and the United States Air National Guard, a ship of the Royal Canadian Navy. Several commercial and research vessels, and remotely operated vehicles also assisted in the search. After a search lasting almost 80 hours, a remotely operated underwater vehicle, ROV, discovered the wreckage of parts of the submarine on the seabed near the Titanic. It was also discovered that the submarine exploded on the day of the flight shortly after the start of its landing, which led to the immediate death of all passengers. The ticket costs $250,000 for that 8-day trip, including diving to the site where the wreck of the legendary Titanic settled at a depth of 3,800 meters. Now I will tell you the story of the wrecked Titanic. The Titanic was a huge and luxurious passenger liner built at the beginning of the 20th century. It was considered one of the largest ships in the world at that time. It carried more than 2,200 passengers and a crew of 900 people. On April 10, 1912, the ship left the port of Southampton on her maiden voyage to New York. The trip was expected to be a luxurious and enjoyable trip for passengers who felt comfortable and safe on the luxury ship. However, on the 4th night of the voyage, namely at 11:40 p.m., the ship collided with an iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean. The ship was wrecked shortly afterward, killing more than 1,500 people. The Titanic story comes with a bunch of secondary branches and interesting events, such as the story of a man named Jack Dawson, who loves Titanic passenger Rose DeWitt Butler, who has an unhappy life on the ship. The story also includes the heroic efforts of some personnel on the ship to save the lives of passengers, which led to the rescue of a few of them. After the ship collided with the iceberg, it turned out that the ship was carrying an insufficient number of lifeboats to rescue all passengers. Despite the heroic efforts of some individuals to save the lives of passengers, many of them could not survive and died in the cold water. The Titanic disaster caused a huge shock in the world and led to the improvement of safety procedures on ships. The disaster has also led to the creation of a special commission of inquiry to determine the causes of the accident and recommendations for improving the safety of ships in the future. Another interesting aspect of the Titanic story is the legend surrounding a mysterious treasure on the ship. As it is said that it was carrying precious pieces and jewelry, although the existence of this treasure has not been officially confirmed. The story of the Titanic has formed the material for many films, plays and books, and continues to arouse interest even today as one of the largest maritime disasters in history. The cost of building the Titanic was approximately $7.5 million in 1912, which was considered a very high cost at that time. It should be noted that, given inflation and the change in the value of currencies, the cost of building similar ships at the moment will be much higher. It is interesting to compare the cost of building the Titanic with the cost of modern shipbuilding. For example, the cost of building the newest giant cruise ship called the New Business Ship amounts to about $1.35 billion, which is more than 180 times the cost of building the Titanic in 1912. But it should be noted that modern ships have more advanced technologies and materials and are considered more efficient in use and performance, and also include such technological advantages for passengers as advanced electronic and entertainment systems and other advantages that did not exist in the era of the construction of the Titanic at the beginning of the 20th century. The Titanic was built between 1909 and 1912. Designed and built in the UK under contract with the company Harland and Wolff in Belfast, Northern Ireland. The construction of the ship was financed by the company, British National Marine Lines, which wanted to create a luxurious and huge ship to maintain its position in the shipping industry. The cost of building the Titanic was already high for the time, but the company's efforts and investment in the construction of this ship were worth the price. As the Titanic was considered one of the largest and most luxurious ships in the world at that time. High-quality materials were used in the construction of the Titanic, such as solid wood and steel, and the ship was equipped with luxurious facilities and services such as swimming pools, luxurious lounges, fine restaurants, and many other services that made the trip on board a luxurious experience for passengers. It should be noted that the cost of building modern ships is much higher than the cost of building the Titanic due to modern technologies and upgrades that are added to modern ships, which enhance their performance and improve the comfort and safety of passengers. Now the episode is over. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Goodbye.